Coach, if you want to start us off with a statement, then we'll take questions.
Well, just want to say congratulations to Maria and the Redhawks tonight. They played a great game. They were extremely physical. They had some seniors step up, and really, they had not beat us, I think, for the last 7 times. So they came in here. Their chemistry has been fantastic, and really, you could tell they wanted this game from jump. And this was a classic BG Miami game. You knew it would come down to the wire. Both teams made runs at different times, and they got some rebounds right there at the end, and credit them. Even though we out-rebounded them as a team, they came up with the 2 rebounds of the night, in my opinion. But I thought they did a good job at both ends of the floor. I just want to credit them. That's a good win for them to come in here. Like I said, it's a big rivalry game. I know a lot of people look at our Toledo BG rivalry as the biggest, but this is pretty close too. Just because the kids know each other so well, and you recruit against them a lot in July and on the recruiting circuit. But so it's a good win for them. I'm proud of our kids for the way they came back. We were down by as many as 11, and there was a chance where Miami could make a run and extend that easily to 15 or more. I felt like because they had a lot of momentum, or we had a chance to make some stops and make some plays at the offensive end. And thank goodness we did the latter, and were able to come back and tie the game. Thought we spent a lot of energy coming back from that double-digit deficit, and weren't quite able to turn the corner. Yet, with that said, we had our chance to get potentially a shot off at the end if we get a defensive rebound or 2 on 2 different possessions, and we were unable to secure those. But like I said, it's a great MAC game. Had a good crowd, and I'm proud of our kids for coming back, but there was a couple of mistakes that we made that were extremely costly, and that helped secure the win for Miami at the end.
I'm sure there were multiple frustrations. Is there one in particular that you would hang your hat on for this one? I mean, if we could do one thing better, it would be...
I think shooting 28% in the first half was a struggle for us. They did a good job of switching their defensive assignments almost on every possession, either between jamming our ball screens or switching. I thought we did a much better job in the second half of taking advantage of some of those potential mismatches that we created with certain play calls. But I was disappointed with our, honestly, just being able to score in the first half. That was a struggle. I was disappointed with our bench in the first half. They were 0 for 4, 5 turnovers, and 3 fouls. And we've been getting extremely good bench production. Very, very comfortable subbing liberally and subbing early as well. I love our rotation, and we were unable to get the production that we've been getting from our bench in the first half. Yet, with that said, we went with Bailey Carenduff in the second half, and she gave us that bench production and stepped up and made some big shots. We made a run with Bailey and Miriam in the game, and for 2 freshmen, that's tough in a game like this against Miami. So I'm happy with that, but honestly, just not being able to score in the first half, I think, would be my biggest frustration, because I thought we had some looks that just didn't go in. Probably secondary would just be, I was disappointed with our production from the arc. I think we're much better than 3 of 18, but then to counter that, they were 2 of 16, so 5 of 34 definitely sets the field goal percentage from the arc back a lot for both teams, to say the least. So I would say just scoring in the first half and probably bench production, and then just not being able to score in the arc as well. Even though you asked me for 1, you get 3.
Thank you. You mentioned Bailey. What was it that allowed her to kind of give you guys that spark?
Like I said, they were changing their defensive assignments. They were either jamming one time down or switching, jamming or switching. So we condensed our playbook a little bit and went with a handful of plays, and she was able to score off of a ball screen because they were jamming and her defender went under, and she was able to reward herself by hitting a couple open shots. At one time she had her toe on the line, or she could have hit a three. One time is a good call by the official to see that, but she stepped up. She was extremely aggressive. Actually had another layup at chance on an out of bounds play. I think it got blocked and she missed it, but she had a good look at that. So she had some really good minutes and good play for us. It did make the run when we were down to help come back and tie the game for us.
6 seconds left. Miami has nobody in the lane and comes up with the offensive rebound. I mean, that's got to be the kind of play that just makes you want to pull your hair out.
Makes me want to work on rebounding right now as opposed to waiting until tomorrow's practice. But as everybody can imagine, that rebounding will be a point of emphasis at practice tomorrow. So we are never, as we say, never get too high, never get too low. But we've stuck to our game plan of creating a highlight lowlight tape after every game and watching that before practice of the next game and kind of putting the previous game to bed before we start talking about our next opponent. So we'll watch that. Obviously that play will be on there. It's a play that, you know, should I be yelling box out as loud as I can, but I feel like that's kind of assumed. But before that even happened, the game was tied, and honestly they missed a shot, and with about under 10 seconds to go, in my opinion, neither the men's game or the women's game, no matter what level you play at, I'm a firm believer nobody boxes out because everybody's so caught up. Is it going to go in? And you just get caught ball watching, and literally everybody on the floor got caught ball watching, and they got an offensive rebound, and we had to make the hard foul at the end. But if we get that, now I have two timeouts left. You know, you have the ball with 10 seconds to go, and it's a completely different situation. Now, instead, they get the rebound, we've got a foul, then they get the offensive rebound after that free throw miss. So that's a team that shoots 80%. So we were fortunate that they missed some foul shots at the end. I mean, they could have easily iced the game and made it a 4-point game 2 different times and didn't. But disappointing because we already had the play call, and we had scored on that play previously. You know, they were probably going to switch everything, so we were going to do something a little different. And but unfortunately, you don't get a chance to run that. But does the game really come down to one play? You know, I'm still disappointed with the way we shot the ball in the first half, so I can't really dwell on one play because I don't think one play ever makes the game. Yet one play will stand out more than a missed layup in the first half for sure, and that's a play everybody will remember.
Can you talk a little bit about the emotion? You had taken the early 11-2 lead, kind of had them on their heels, they were missing shots, and then just kind of let them back in the game. Will you talk a little bit about the emotional blow?
I don't know if it was emotional. We talked about any game is going to have ebbs and flows. We came out strong, I felt like, and contested some shots, and they missed shots that they were capable of. And is that because they were missing shots, or we had good contests? I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, but the game went back and forth. I mean, we had a 9-point lead, they had an 11-point lead, and the game comes down to the wire. So as cliche as it sounds, it was a game of ebbs and flows, and we went cold. And that's when part of our 28% started kicking in. We did have, I think, a missed layup, a couple missed free throws in that stretch, and compounded by that, we had 3 turnovers in that stretch when they made a real run.
The other offensive rebound that made you just tied the game, and they got one. You know, Osborne hit one of their 2 threes, and you were never able to get real traction after that either. Were you, or did I miss something?
Yeah, I've put that one out of my mind, so I thought the other 2 were a little bigger, but no, you're right. That was tough. Yeah, they are an extremely good rebounding team, and it's crazy looking at the stat sheet that we out-rebounded them. So those 3 offensive rebounds, you could definitely call them game-changing rebounds. Disappointing that we couldn't come up with the ball on any one of those possessions. We'll go back and look at the film and see, but again, when games get tight, unfortunately, kids end up watching the ball, and we watch the ball instead of boxing out. So we will correct that.
And the 20-second chance points, I mean, the rebound is so close, but they have took more advantage of their opportunities.
They did. I thought that offensive rebound putbacks, after we jumped out to that 9-point lead, that helped get them going as well in the first half, because we were able to shut down a couple of their go-to plays that they like. And it's tough when you play good defense for about 20 to 25 seconds and then lose an offensive rebound. But got to credit, Christian Olowinski. She ended up with 15 boards tonight, 7 at the offensive end. But honestly, I think one of the difference makers post-wise was Erica Almeida. She had been hurt. She started about 5 of their games so far, and she came in and just really battled. She's an undersized post and got in there, got some low post catches, but she was a physical this was by far her best game in our series against them.
Well, you also talked a little bit about the defense on Osborne. I mean, she got some points, but I mean, she had to take 19 shots to get there. And most of the time you had Miriam on there.
I'm ecstatic with what we did with Courtney. Courtney has a chance to be Player of the Year in this conference, and like you said, 14 points on 19 field goals attempted is not a lot for that kid. I mean, she shoots, she's averaging close to 15 points on 12 to 13 field goals is what she's averaging in MAC play, and that's an unbelievable number. Give you an example, we just played Kiana Black, a freshman at OU, and she's averaging 15 points on 25 field goals attempted. So the maturity of Courtney is she can make tough shots, but for her to only get 14, I was happy with. She dropped 21 on us last year in the game on February 25th when we last played them. So her getting 14 points, I was fine with that. Like I said, honestly, one of the difference maker, in my opinion, was the play of Erica Almeida. I mean, she's been struggling with some injuries. Did not start last game, but started their second half, and played extremely well. And like I said, she hasn't had a chance to play against us really in this series, and she stepped up, and she was a big-time X factor for them. But they have 4 kids that average double figures that start in MAC play, and they average 70 points in MAC play. So to hold up to 57, again, I'm happy with that, but just not happy with the result, unfortunately. But just kudos to Miami. This was just a classic MAC game between the 2 schools, and they got the best of it today. So again, it's an East Division opponent. As everybody knows, we play everybody in the East twice and everybody in the West once. So I guarantee you, we'll face them again, obviously, in Oxford, and then there's a chance to play them again. So this is a team that we could play 3 times this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they all come down to the last minute, just because of that's what happens in rivalry games.
Anything else for Coach?